Hello, welcome to another special Sudoku solve video. Today I have a bit of an easier puzzle. It's a one-star arrow puzzle. I wanted to do something that is, you know, normal Sudoku rules apply. Digits along an arrow must sum to the digits in a circle. I wanted to do something a bit more relaxed, I guess. Also, none of these can be two because they have two cell arrows attached to them. So and none of them can be one except this one because it repeats its digit. So this is mandatory, I guess. Now these cannot be. So which one can be three? If this one's three, that's a 1-2 pair. Same goes for that one. So those cannot be three. One of those is three. Okay. Um. No, I wanted to do a bit of an easier puzzle because I had an operation, I guess, and I'm still not feeling the best. My headset is also on a little weird. Um, but yeah, I have been doing Sudoku for the past. That cannot be three because it's a no. That's a minimum of four with a one, a one, and a two. But interesting. Okay. Um, so either one of those is a 1-2 pair. Okay. Um, yeah. No. I. That's basically it. I wanted to do something a bit easier for today, and I hoped that this was that. But we'll see. Um, we'll see how all of this goes. Um, it did look very interesting to me. Uh, I think the Medusa cascades is because these look like snakes coming from the head. Um, I think that's where the name comes from, but I'm not sure. So what's a different digit that's hard to place in here? I guess four, but four is just a 1-3 pair. Four adding up to 1-3. But that can be those, and that's just a two then. But that can be double one. If this is a one, then the minimum these four digits sum to is 2, 3, 4, and 5, summing to 14, making those sum to 14 and those sum to 14. That is just possible. Now this can still be and then this would be well yeah, okay. That is possible. I'm not sure then where to start all this. One of those is a 1-2 pair. It does look like a Fistamafel ring, but I don't think that's relevant at all. So okay, so let's see. This all sums to 45. Mine, so it's either 43 or 44. Then we have 5, 15, 30 as a minimum. The minimum these could sum to is 15 because it's five different cells. So 30 in total. And plus 6, 12, 6 and 6. That's 12, 12, 42. So the minimum this can sum to is 42. Yeah, the minimum that can sum to is 42. So that's already close to the 43, 44. So we cannot go much higher. We have a difference of 2 there. So it can be at most. So there cannot be an 8 or a 9 on this ring, right? Because the highest digits we have put on here now is a 5 and a 5, then plus 2, that's 7. So there's no 8 or 9 on this ring. And there have to be a lot of repeat digits. A lot of them. Um, a lot of small ones as well. Um, I think then the corners are a problem, right? Because if let's say if that's a one, what becomes the minimum now? Because I feel like that cannot be a one then. Because if that's not a one, then the minimum this is what did I say? Uh, 2, 3, 4, and 5. That's 14, 28, and that's 4. That's 14. So 30, 34, and then we haven't even counted these. But if that's a 2, that's also a problem, though. I'm thinking because let's say that's a 2, right? Then the minimum these are is 1, 3, 4, and 5, which is 4, 8, 13, 26. Wait, I miscounted with a 1. If that's a 1, then these are 14, 28, and this is 10, and we're at 38, and then we come down to 44. But 44 as a minimum would mean that this is a 1 as well, and that's not possible. So that has to be a 2. If that's a 2, we have what did I say? 8, 13, 26, 30, 36, 42. That comes down to the minimum. So that cannot be a 1 either. Because the corners cannot be 1s. But that is a 2. That's a 2 and that's a 1 then. So the sum is 44. Now what does this mean? Uh this I don't know. The 1 would have been stronger, but that doesn't work. Um yeah, it doesn't, right? 28, 38, 44. Yeah. And then that would have to be a 1 again. So the corner could never be a 1 is what I want to say. Could the corner be another 2? Because if there's another 2, we have we have the same problem here with the total being 1326. Then this minimum is 4, 8, and that's another 8, 16. 16 plus 26. Wait, no, I forgot to count the 2 there in that total. Wait, okay, let's try. If that's a 2, we have 1326 plus 10 is 36. 38 plus 6 is 44, and that's the exact minimum. So we have to minimize everything. Yeah, we have to minimize everything. And that means that these are both 5s, right? Because, yeah, that must be true. Otherwise, you would have 2 5s in the totals. So that's 5s. That's then a 4, and that's another 1, 2, 3. And that is 1, 3, 4. That must be the case. Now, I do think 1, 3, and 4. Those are both not 1s. Oh, those are both not 1s. Um, Now I do think it's gonna be hard to form a 9. No. 9 could be 4, 5, or something here. Um, what's a hard digit to form then? 4 with a 3 and a 1, but that could still be in any of those. Those, oh, those cannot be 1 either. That cannot be a 2. That cannot be a 2. Hmm. What does this do? So the minimum, this is a 6. So we have 6 and then a 1, 2 pair with a 9 there. And the same goes for that one. 6 with a 1-2 pair. And a 9 there. And not quite for this one. Well, yeah, no, that's a 6 with a 9 and a 1-2 pair. So how the ways to make 9 is 1-8, 2-7 is possible, 3-6 isn't, and 4-5 isn't, so it's 1-8. So we know that, but it cannot be 1-8. No, never mind. It cannot be 1-8. 2-7 was possible. That's it. Sorry. Um, so then that's a 1, that's a 2, that's a 1, that's a 2, that's a 1, that's a 2. So that's a 7-8 pair. That's a 7-8 pair. That is not a 7-8 pair necessarily. Okay. And this is now a 5 and a 5-3. Sure. Well, no, this sees 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then 9. So it is a 7 or an 8. That's a 3 and a 4. Okay. Um, I don't know what that did, to be honest. Uh, oh, this is another 7, 8, and that's a 3 and a. What am I missing? 3 and a 4. Okay, so I think 9. One of those. That cannot be a 9, so that's. The 9 is not there, so the 9 is there, so it's in one of those two, and it cannot be there, so it's there. So this is a 7 or an 8. And that cannot be with a 2. And not a 3 is too big, because then the minimum you can form is 10, so that's a 1. And this is an 8 or 9. Interesting. Okay. I don't know what that does. One of those is 2. It's a very minor point, but it's something. Um, okay. I am not sure at this point. Um, 1, 3, and 4, but that could just be a 4, and that make that a 9. What's a difficult number? Yeah, 3 is 4, I guess. That cannot be a 4. Well, what cannot be a 4? That cannot be a 4. And that can. Those cannot be 4s. But this feels like a possible 3-1 pair, and same for this. So I'm not sure. I'm not sure what breaks that up. Then 8 and 9, maybe? 8. That can be 8. Well, okay, no, a lot of stuff can be 8. That cannot be 8. That could be 8. Those cannot be 8. So those can also not be 9. But some of them can be 7. where is the problem then? Sixes. Six cannot be in those because there's no way to form six. Six cannot be there or there. So these are 6, 8, and 9. So where's 7? 7 can be only be in one of those. Can that be 6 with double 1? No, because then you have no place for the 3 to go. So that's not 6. So one of those two is a 1. But you don't know which one. Fives? Where can 5 not go? 5. I feel like 5 can go in any of them. 4, 4 as well. So it must be something else. Must be something else. One of those is 2. One of those is 2. The sevens aren't even aligning. I don't know. And what's the bigger point? The picture. Um, that's a 3. That's a 2 and a 1. So okay. So I think if that's a 3, then that's a 1-2 pair, and that's a 3. If that's a 3, then that's a 1-2 pair, then that's a 3. So this is always adds up to 7. But that doesn't. That just means the other one isn't a 3. So the other one is 4 or 5 on the arrow. But still, I don't think that matters. Is it? Is it a Fistamafel thing? Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. 3, 4. So one of those has to be 5. If we want to use this. So what am I missing? I have 1, 2, 3, 5. So I'm missing a 4, 1, 4, 1, 5, 1, 5. So I'm missing one more 5, and I have and one more 4, and one more 3. So this is a 3, 4, 5. Oh, okay. I can do that a different way. This is a 3, 4, and 5. Where did he go in this box? It's this. So that's a 3, 4, 5 triple, and this is then 6, 7, and 8. So then that's not a 7. That's a different, an easier way than a Fistamafel ring. So that's another 6 or an 8. Since we have the 3, 4, 5 triple there. Still, what is happening? Um, I don't feel like this puzzle. I don't know what I'm getting stuck on. This is a 3, 4, and 5 triple. So one of those is the 5. So that cannot be a 5. Then we have a 3, 4 pair. Oh, so that's a 5. Since in this row, that's the only place 5 can go then. So one of those is a 5. pair. What? Um, what is happening? Um, I feel like this should be easier than it is. I might just be somewhat overthinking this for no reason. This is not one, two, three, four, five, or nine, so it's six, seven, or eight. Oh, I don't want to use those. I want to use these. Six, seven, or eight. But this isn't a logical pair. Those could be seven, or those could be seven. If that's a three, four pair, that's a one. So six and seven go together. On the other side, wait, okay, so if that's eight, that's a three, and that's a five. So if this is eight, it puts a five there. Oh, I can somewhat see that. If that's an eight, that's a five. If that's a nine, and that's a one three. So then that's a four. If that's a six, then that's a five and a one, and that's a seven. So this is also four, five, or seven. Now that could be three. It could be four, or it could be five. So this is three, four, or five. I think the same. Yeah, the same must then go for that. So this is what we arrived at. Three and four. No, I don't see it. The same goes for those. If that's a three, then that's a two. If this is a three, that's a two, and two makes five or three. So so then, if that's a three, that's a two, then that's a five. If that's a three, then that's a two, making that a three. If that's a three, that makes that a two, making that four or five, making it five. So if that's a three, that's a five. That makes that four or seven. So that makes that four or one. Yeah, that does work. Maybe it's this then. If that's an eight, we need five more. So we need a two and a three. But sure, right? Um, well, if that's an eight, right? Like I said, then one of those is three, so that's a one-two pair, making that a three, making the other one a two, making it a one-three pair, making it a four. And if that's nine, we need. Oh, then we need five more. Wow. Okay, I'm not focused enough. I think. Um, this cannot be double two. So then it's a one-three pair. Then it's a one-three pair. One makes one five, makes one of them five, and the other one three. But that does work. So what is it? Where there should be just one thing, right? That unwinds all of it. So that's a three, then that's a three, then that's a three, then that must be a three. But that doesn't do anything. It must be something in this middle block. Something, for example, like that not being able to be a one for some reason. Maybe it's this. If that's an eight, that's a seven. And this is a 5-9 pair. If that's a nine, that's an eight. making it a 5-7 pair. But both seem possible. Okay. Maybe this 7 puts a 2 there in some way. If that's a 7, that's a 3-4 pair. Making that a 1. Making that a 2 and a 3. That's a 7. That's a 2. No, then that's a 2 or a 3. Making that a 1. Making that 3 or 4. Making that a 2. Is that it? Okay, I'm gonna go through this. If that's a 7, that's a 3-4 pair, making that a 1. Making that a 1 or a 2 or a 3, making that a 1. Making that a 3 or a 4, because it cannot be a 5 anymore, making this a 3-4 pair, making that a 2. And that forms a 2-7 pair, breaking that cell. So all that says is that cannot be a 7, but then that has to be a 7. So now we have it. That's it. That's the puzzle. That's the break-in we needed. I think. I hope. I'm not sure, but I hope. Um, Now that cannot be a 7 anymore. Uh, I don't think it is what I hoped it would be. Um, Now that cannot be a 1. So one of those is a 1, so that's not a 5 anymore. Oh, we have a 2-3 pair, so that's a 1. Yeah, and then we have the principle here, where that's a 3-4 pair, so that's a 2. I'm making that a 3. Making that a 4-5, so that's a 3. That's a 2. Making that a 3, 5, 4, 1, 4, 9, 8, 3, 1, 3, 4. And now it's filling in the rest of the puzzle, right? 6, 8. Right, right. Um, that's not a 6 anymore. I'm having trouble seeing even where to start. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 9. Not a 9. Not a 5. Not a 6. But that's stuck, I think. Oh, that 2 makes that a 2. That a 7. We have all the 2s. No, the last 2. Now let's do 3s. Which we can't. 4s, maybe? No. No, no, no. This cannot be. Oh, 9 makes that an 8. That a 7. That's a 7. That's an 8. That's a 7. That's an 8. That's a 7. That's an 8. I'm going to repeat that a lot now. Which 8 haven't we done yet? The one down here. That one. And that one. 7s should be done now as well. There. 7. I'm curious if the solution I found was also the intended way, or if I just did something, well, not wrong, I guess, because what I did was logically correct, but if it was intended to find that specific breakout. I think that's a better term for this. What am I missing? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 9. That's 5. Gives me a 5 and a 9. Now I'm missing that 9. I'm probably just not seeing easy things at this point. But for example, this missing 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. 5 and 4, giving me the 4, the 3, oh, the 3, 3, 4, the 3 in the corner, 3 and a 5, another 3 in the corner. Okay. Um, 6, 5. What am I missing? 4s? 4. That's the last 4. Now I'm missing 6 and 9. And at least a 9 and a 6. And that's the puzzle. Every digit stillness set Medusa to her faith was met. Oh, that's cute. Thank you so much for watching. I know it was a bit shorter and a bit easier than I usually do, but I felt like it today. Uh, if you got this far, thank you, and thanks for all the recent support I got on the channel, which is interesting to see. Yeah, thank you. Have a nice day.